that Owen Benjamin tried to poison my lasagna. That's how you're going to try and diss someone in a wheelchair? By saying that the wind blew them over? That's your slight jab at me, buddy? Nice try. Must be nice to try and make jokes like that. Found out about Owen Benjamin and the Unbearables. I can't remember exactly who told me about them. It might have been one of them who had reached out to me, actually. Long story short, in like March of 2018, I was looking to, of course, continue building the show, and I was looking for a group of networkers, kind of like-minded creative conservatives, and I was told about the Unbearables. I found out about Owen through the JRE podcast. To be honest, I wasn't really a big fan of him comedically. Like, I thought he was okay, but he wasn't, great. But I kind of liked what he was doing with the whole, anti-trans kids thing. That really spoke out to me. And in the beginning, the Unbearables seemed to be a great network. People who were doing creative stuff like art and design and podcasting and video production, parody, songs, musicianship, in the case of Chuck Boris, and just late night streams, which was how I met the original DZ guys. Of course, John Neary was my first interview for the brief period of time I was with the Bears. But here's the thing, Owen's not even a conservative. He's a fucking leftist, posing. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. How dare you! Owen is doing the shit that mass shooters do before they go out and do a school shooting. Here's my manifesto. We need to get rid of the weak people, and I'm not saying he's going to be the one to do this.
An Australian man who murdered his wife with a pair of scissors, stabbed her in the chest.
This is a warning to the general public about Owen Benjamin. We've warned you. How dare you!
Must be nice.
According to him, the goat urinated on him first, in front of Amy.
all this gay talk is pissing off my German Shepherd.
Well, good evening, folks, and welcome to tonight's edition of the Whitfield Report. I am your host, Sam Whitfield, broadcasting here live from NGC Studios here in South Florida, and I want to thank you so very much for tuning in here tonight, wherever you are in the past, present, future hour, if you're listening to the podcast. We appreciate those of you as well, and we're here for another Saturday night of, well, I don't want to say broadcast excellence, because that was the great Rush Limbaugh's, phrase, but as I always like to say, we are inspired by Rush here, so we'll go with that. At any rate, contact info as usual. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, though I'm not sure you can see anything I post on Twitter anymore. At @SamDeBurn_NGC. Follow me on Gab, Parler and Minds, and Getter at Sam Whitfield. Streamlabs.com/Whitfield Report if you'd like to donate. Patreon.com/Whitfield Report if you'd like to support the show monthly. Support the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcast. All of the links to support the show are in the description. We appreciate all of you. And without further ado, let's jump into it. And also, quick roll call from the chat. Skunky Brewster is here. The lady who makes the fabulous intros and often clips this show and repurposes, me for her own amusement, usually. Then we have Saucin, the one and only Saucin. here, and then we have Whiskey Runner 1, who might, he might be joining us later on the show. I'm not sure as to that yet. But anyway, folks, we have a jam-packed show for you here tonight. Lots to cover in terms of the news this week. But primarily, the top story, the hot topic of this week, folks. I'm kind of getting tired of hearing the phrase deep state, because the deep state isn't running things anymore, folks. It's the state that's in control now. The deep state has become the state. Obama's cronies that were in the deep state under Trump's administration are back now under Biden. And they're the ones running the show. If anyone thinks that Biden is running things, well, then you haven't been paying attention. I mean, the supposed president of the United States spends his time whispering into a mic, all creepy like this, and it gets really disturbing, and it's really creepy, and he wants kids to touch the hair on his legs. Our supposed POTUS is doing stuff like that, right? So he's not in control of what's going on. I would be shocked at this point if he runs for president a second term. I honestly wouldn't. And to be honest, I would almost be shocked too if Kamala runs for president, because she just doesn't seem into being VP at all. Like, at least when Biden was VP under Obama, like, he was the vice president, but he was still there. He was still with it back then. Mike Pence actually seemed presidential, kind of in the vice president's role, so he was there. Kamala hates Joe Biden. They don't even want to be seen with each other. People have short memories in politics, and Kamala called Biden a misogynist and a racist. I bring all that up because simply put, the figureheads like Biden and Kamala, they're not running things right now. We're being run by bureaucrats, mostly. And this is evidenced by the fact that last week it was revealed that the NSA has been spying on Tucker Carlson, and that they intercepted his emails. And there have been several excuses from the media for this. Like, at first, the mainstream media tried to pretend that it wasn't a thing, that it that's just Tucker going off on some Alex Jones style conspiracy rant. It didn't happen. Well, Tucker got confirmation that it happened, and then the excuse is, and we'll get into this in just a bit, but once again, January 6th is big, used as the excuse for everything now, just like COVID is. But you know, we'll get to all that. Anyway, I want to start off by playing a clip from Tucker Carlson where he actually explains what is going on and what's kind of been happening. Now this is a week old, but it's still pretty relevant to what's going on. I'm honestly surprised YouTube hasn't taken it down. But anyway, here is Tucker speaking about being surveilled by the NSA. And of course it didn't transition, so take it out of studio mode. Okay. Here we go. Cut number 1. And let's roll the tape.
Last night we told you about the Biden administration's efforts to monitor and intimidate this show. On Sunday, we heard from a whistleblower within the U.S. government, someone with direct knowledge, who warned us that the NSA was reading our electronic communications, our emails and texts, and was planning to leak them selectively in an effort to hurt us. This person had details from my emails that no one outside the recipient could have known. So it was not a delusion, it was entirely real. In fact, it was confirmed. After the show last night, after we announced this, other news organizations acted as if it's totally normal for heavily politicized intel agencies to spy on and threaten journalists they disagree with. It's no big deal. Stop whining. But it is a big deal. It is completely wrong, not to mention illegally. And this is hardly the first time the so-called intelligence community has done something like this. They've done an awful lot of it. Look it up. If we let them continue to do it, it's the end of democracy. Democracy can't function with semi-independent, highly politicized intel agencies. It's really dangerous. For its part, the Biden administration just ignored the story. They did not deny the story. They can't. They know that it's true. Today, the president's flak was asked about it on Air Force One. Here's the exchange.
Tucker Carlson said that the NSA is spying on him. Is the administration aware of any espionage or listening efforts on U.S. citizens by the NSA, and is Tucker Carlson one of them?
Well, the NSA, as I think you're well aware, I'm sure everyone's aware, everyone on this plane is aware, I should say, is an entity that focuses on foreign threats and individuals who are attempting to do us harm on foreign soil. So that is their purview, but beyond that, I would point you to the intelligence community.
Now, okay, just for context here, this all started because Tucker supposedly was scheduling an interview, or someone from his staff was like trying to schedule an interview with Vladimir Putin to come on the show. Which, you know, it's a news show, right? Foreign leaders go on shows all the time. Hell, Putin was on 60 Minutes like 3 weeks ago. So this, you know, this type of request isn't out of the ordinary. But because it's Tucker Carlson, the NSA decided to do a, like a records collection, which technically they are allowed to do, but where it becomes fishy is they're supposed to anonymize that. So, like, for instance, if I were to reach out to, let's just say that, like, for whatever reason, someone from Russia contacted me about, having like Putin or someone come on the Whitfield report. Hypothetically, what's supposed to happen is the NSA can say, hey, Russia contacted an American about making like a media appearance or something, but the NSA can't publicly reveal who it is, who the American is. They have to anonymize the name. And this wasn't done in this case. It explicitly said that Tucker was, communicating with the Russians, which feeds back into the whole ridiculous Russiagate fiasco and all that type of stuff. But anyway, let's continue on with this clip.
It's like she's reading the Wikipedia entry. Ask them! But here's what to notice. No denial. Of course, she's right that the NSA is chartered to spy on foreigners, not on Americans. That's illegal. And yet the NSA does routinely spy on Americans. It won't call it spying. That's exactly what it is. Millions of Americans. And sometimes it does it for political reasons. And everyone knows this. Everyone, including sitting members of the Intel Committee. Some of them are paranoid about their own communications. That's true. In Washington, this is just considered fine. But it's not fine. It is dangerous and it's wrong. Some faceless hack in a powerful government spy agency decides he doesn't like what you think, so he's going to hurt you and there's nothing you can do about it? That could happen to you. And when it does happen, trust us. NBC News will call you a delusional QAnon conspiracy theorist for complaining about it. Well, this morning we decided to just call Paul Nakasone directly. He's the highly political left-wing four-star general who runs the NSA. The receptionist refused to put us through. We're American citizens, though, so we kept trying, because it's our right. This afternoon, we got his direct line, and we tried again. Nakasone's assistant seemed shocked that someone whose email the NSA is reading would dare to call the director himself. Shut up, Surf, obey! So they told us Nakasone just wasn't there. Then, just minutes before air tonight, the NSA sent us an infuriatingly dishonest formal statement, an entire paragraph of lies written purely for the benefit of the intel community's lackeys at CNN and MSNBC, all those people they hire with the titles on the screen. They also tweeted it out a few minutes ago. Now, last night on the show, we made a very straightforward claim. NSA has read my private emails without my permission, period. That's what we said. Tonight's statement from the NSA does not deny that. Instead, it comes with this non sequitur. In part, quote, Tucker Carlson has never been an intelligence target of the agency. Okay, glad to know. But the question remains, did the Biden administration read my personal emails? That's the question that we asked directly to NSA officials when we spoke to them about 20 minutes ago in a very heated conversation. Did you read my emails? And again, they refused to say. Again and again. And then they refused even to explain why they couldn't answer that simple question. We can't tell you, and we won't tell you why we can't tell you. My emails. And the message was clear. We can do whatever we want. We can read your personal texts. We can read your personal emails. We can send veiled threats your way to brush you back if we don't like your politics. We can do anything. We're our own country. And there's literally nothing you can do about it. We're in charge. You're not. Orwellian does not begin to describe the experience. It was like living in China. But we should get used to it. Now that the Biden administration has classified tens of millions of patriotic Americans, the kind who served in the military and fly flags in front of their homes, as potential domestic terrorists, white supremacist saboteurs, we're going to see a whole lot more of this kind of thing.
And he's not wrong there, folks. Now, I know some audience members don't like Tucker Carlson that much. Some of you love him, some of you hate him, some of you are indifferent to him. I get all that. The bigger issue here is that, for all intents and purposes, right, Tucker is objectively a media personality. Maybe not a news outlet, although someone could consider him as such, but, he's a media outlet for sure. And as I said before, he was reaching someone, reached out to Russia to, get an interview with Putin or vice versa, and then this happens. Well, the excuses that I've heard about why, Tucker is being surveilled by the NSA, it mainly goes back to January 6th, ladies and gentlemen, in the whole insurrection. When those crazy right wingers tried to overthrow the government, quote unquote. That's what this whole thing is supposedly about. We're supposed to believe that, like, somehow, Tucker was, I guess, partially, responsible for the January 6th, like, insurrection. Or as one congressman called it, the national erection that got incited, and maybe excited too. But no, this all goes back to January 6th in people's minds. Okay, well, how? What exactly did Tucker do in relation to January 6th? This is what the lefties on Twitter have all been saying, that this somehow ties back to January 6th. Okay, how? Can anyone explain that to me? No? Huh. What a surprise. But see, it doesn't really matter, because Orange Man bad and Biden good, even though Biden's brain dead. And keep in mind, too, folks, Tucker Carlson actually, questioned some of the QAnon stuff, questioned, the what's her face, the lady who was, doing the whole voting machine thing, with Trump. Like, he questioned some of that. So he's not exactly like a, QAnon, guy himself. He questioned a lot on January 6th, himself. But, like I said, he's considered right wing. So it's, he's considered an enemy of the state, and that's good enough for the Biden administration. Let's see. Let's see here. A couple people in the chat are saying something. A lot of food emojis here in the chat. And Whiskey says, what makes me excited? The deep state, at the Whitfield board. Please tell me more about the state of the state's state. Well, I would be happy to incite your, I would be happy to incite your insurrection against the state, Whiskey. So let me explain why this is also a big deal, because it's not just about Tucker, but let's flip this around for a bit, okay? Let's say that, like, for whatever reason, okay, we're going into hypotheticals here. Trump is still president. Like, he wins the election, okay? Trump wins re-election, and let's say that Don Lemon, or as I like to call him, Don Lemon, from CNN, wants to interview the Prime Minister of Iran, let's say. And, someone reaches out and gets a hold of them, and they do the back and forth thing. And then, Trump's NSA surveils them, which, they're allowed to do to collect intel. But then let's say that gets leaked, right? That it was Don Lemon who reached out to Iran. Again, I'm just making this scenario up, but can you imagine if a CNN reporter was, surveilled by Trump's NSA and it got revealed? This would not be, simply something that conservative media is talking about. This is something that will be talked about on, cable news 24/7, 365 days a year, nonstop. The media would drag this thing into the ground, and we wouldn't hear the end. Hear the end of it. And maybe rightly so, because if Trump's administration actually was spying on reporters and using the NSA to do it, that would certainly be a problem. But he wasn't. But now now that the shoe's on the other foot, c'est la vie. And it's not just the NSA that's troublesome. Think about the fact that back during the Obama administration, the IRS was auditing Tea Party nonprofits, and they were just happening to audit them during the the midterm 2010 elections. That's not suspicious, to anyone either. Regardless of what regardless of what political party you are, the surveillance state in this country has really gotten out of control. It really has. There are now laws on the books regarding, surveillance and other things that we don't the American people don't even know about. Most likely. It's show me the show me the man and I can show you the crime. That's what this is more or less. So what is Tucker planning on doing about it? Well, he hasn't really said much at this point. I would get my lawyer if I were him, and maybe try and sue the government, bring this thing to the Supreme Court. That's what he ought to do, in my opinion. Regarding this thing, because the government is spying on the media, and I would argue that it is an attack on the First Amendment. Now, let's see. I know that Whiskey has some knowledge of how some of these surveillance networks work, or at least some of the technical aspects of them. And he said he'd be on here later tonight, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not. So we might have to circle back on that, as Jen Psaki likes to say. But I do want to play for you a clip from the late great Rush Limbaugh, the greatest of all time, and what he thought of the surveillance state when it was going on under Obama. So this is Rush on the NSA
spying scandal, the allegation.
So, clip number 2.
We have, as you know, been discussing this week the NSA spying scandal, the allegations of spying on Tucker Carlson. And this was something that Rush was on back in August of 2013, in fact. Here's what he had to say about why we should all be concerned what's going on with the NSA and possible abuse.
The excesses here it's worse than anybody thought. What the NSA has been doing, spying and information gathering on American citizens, monitoring phone calls, it's almost too massive to describe in ways that are understandable. There are multiple stories in the Washington Post on this NSA blockbuster that suggests this is not a random act of journalism. There's a column by Eugene Robinson. There's a couple of other stories. They have the facts. They're quoting Obama to demonstrate a significant contradiction all on the same day. You know, Obama's told people your phone calls are not being listened to. Nobody cares. The exact opposite. Everybody's phone calls are being monitored. This is 1984. This is really Orwellian, what is happening with this. Now, the Washington Post emptying out every last barrel of ink, exposing a president running roughshod over the Constitution and lying about it via the NSA spying scandal.
Clay, it's remarkable how much the media's willingness to weigh in on the NSA and the intrusions on liberty.
Okay, cut that. So, I mean, this is nothing new. The government has been spying on, people with the NSA, basically since 9/11. That was the big, that was the big excuse, was basically 9/11. But, and that was bad enough. But both the Biden administration and the Obama administration have really used it strictly, to spy on their political opponents. And some might say, oh, well, Trump probably did it too. Well, if that did happen, that was just as bad if it didn't happen. But I almost guarantee you it didn't happen, because if it did happen, we would have been hearing about it every single day. And in fact, it was Obama's team that was spying on Trump's victory team, right? After the 2016 election, and after Trump won, Obama's NSA was wiretapping Trump Tower. Wiretapping Mar-a-Lago. They were trying to figure out how Trump won the election, because they were flabbergasted. They couldn't believe that he had been the chosen one, Hillary Clinton. So, they spied on him. Couldn't find anything, so they basically made up the whole Russia hoax. And basically drug that thing out for the first 2 years of, Trump's presidency. And then they continued, to bring that up throughout Trump's presidency. And now January 6th happened. So we're supposed to believe that they were spying on, that they were looking into Tucker because of January 6th. And also that he had contact with Russians. Also, another good point that Larry brings up here in the chat that he mentioned a few moments ago it's the surveillance from big business, harvesting our buying habits. Well, Larry, that's certainly part of it too. And believe it or not, the Facebook in particular has more data on people, I think I read, than even the NSA does. And big business, especially big tech, they're in league with big government, with the DNC that's running the country right now. Okay. Whiskey says, little pig, let me in. All right. We've got Mr. Dash right here with us. Let me just pop open the Discord and get that stuff all figured out. So let me see here. All right. I'm still on air, folks. I'm just turning off the camera here for a sec. So while I slip in to the Discord. Hello there, Mr. Whiskey. How are you doing tonight, sir? Pretty good. Always good to hear your grovelly voice. That's sure. Okay. And how deep is your stay as Brua? I'm sure. So, anyway though, Mr. Whiskey now. Well, that's always a good way to measure. So how? Oh. Okay, let me. I thought I corrected. Hopefully your mic doesn't spaz out like a certain gamma that's stuck at work. So let me go here and okay, you should be hot now. So people should be able to hear you now. Hopefully. And okay. All right. All right, that is terrific. Okay, now we can hear you, I think. Or I can hear something. So.
Oh, we're having technical difficulties, but I think I'll sit back and take care of this bowl.
Oh, geez. That's wow. That's more garbled than Apex's.
Great time to get safe.
Well, Whoa, it's like whiskey is speaking a seance or something. All right. Well, damn it, Discord is this this is always the best part of the show, folks. When Discord decides to uh fuck up royally. So let me quit Discord and jump back in. I have no idea why. I have no idea why it does that.
Weird, right?
Okay, now you're coming in. Yeah, it always happens when I pair Discord with OBS that it happens. It is the weird. It is the
Well, let me give my spiel one more time, Sammy. Before we get rolling here on the topic at hand, I just want to say deep state, deep state, deep state. And I've kind of already explained to you, Sammy, why I'm doing that, but yeah, it's fun to talk about the deep state.
It is, especially when you're a couple beers in. I would assume.
Yeah, we're working on it.
So you're not a lightweight though, like Apex is, who was forgetting what he was saying last night after only 2 beers. So.
Yeah, I think he's losing a little bit of his tolerance from not drinking so much lately.
Well, that's good, I guess.
Exactly.
So, no. Now he just needs to lay off the burritos. So
Indeed.
And he'll be set. So
the Paquito burritos, as we call them, right?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. He's probably listening to this at work, just being like, fuck you guys. So.
Yeah.
But,
well, fuck your Paquito burrito.
Yeah. But anyway, so, Mr. Whiskey, you do have some background in technology, I do know. You're not a Fed, at least from what you tell me.
Yeah, not a Fed.
But then again, how am I to believe that? You could be a Fed.
I work with the Fed sometimes, but I'm not a Fed myself. No.
So first off, Whiskey, what do you make of this claim of surveillance against Tucker Carlson? You saw the clip I played, so what do you make of that? First.
I think his claims from a technology standpoint are perfectly legitimate. The NSA can and does look at, A-log, whatever you want to call it, on any suspicious activity that they see, whether it is foreign or domestic. The way they can get around that, like they got around with it with Trump, is they just say, well, it didn't happen on foreign soil, but it happened with it included a foreign entity that we were already investigating, and that's how they can get around the law.
Right. So they
can also watch inside the United States from foreign soil and also get around that same law.
Wow, that's insane. Now, how would it work, like, typically? Like, are there certain key phrases that they're looking for? Like, you always see that shit, like, in spy movies and whatnot, but what exactly would they be, I guess, looking for, and how would they go about gathering that stuff, as far as you know?
So you'd be put on their radar by something else. It probably wouldn't be triggered by internet activity unless it was something that was like deep web or something like that. So when they're looking at you, usually it's because you've already done something off of the internet. You've already, crossed the threshold of whatever they're doing. It depends on, the entity and what they're looking at. I've seen FBI and SIA or CIA and NSA install things in data centers just because they have had suspicious activity reports from a certain place in Europe, and they just have a hunch, and they install servers in data centers to monitor cross communications between two entities essentially.
So
if there's communication between a bad entity in Europe and a bad entity here, they'll install equipment in the data center that they see the internet activity coming from. They'll put a server in that same data center and basically monitor everything coming from the data center.
but they're
from that one customer, obviously.
But they're also supposed to like anonymize who the who the receiver in the U.S. is, from my understanding, in order to keep it like legal here under the Fourth Amendment, I believe.
Well, remember, Sammy, what happens on foreign soil doesn't count here. It's not under our same laws, and as long as there's any sort of actions coming from something on foreign soil, they're most likely going to be able to point off and say that yes, this was something done on foreign soil, whether the act of the crime was committed on U.S. soil or not. They'll just be able to point back at that and give that as their reason why they're looking into it.
So, do you believe that maybe Tucker was spied on? From maybe like a
he was spied on by the deep state.
Well, that maybe was spied on from like a a CIA station in Europe or something. Would that be possible?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. They could install their servers in any data center in Europe or any other country across from U.S. soil, and yeah, they'll be able to find whatever they want to find. Whatever's being put across the internet will be able to be seen.
Yeah, so Larry brought up an interesting point a while ago too, which is they could just trawl through social media posts and whatnot.
So, Sammy, you want to hear something interesting that makes this even easier for them?
Sure.
So, Fox News, I'm guessing, along with most other corporate entities, are hosting most of their servers in AWS. Right. For people who don't know what that is, that's Amazon Web Services. So Amazon has tons of data center storage all around the country, probably by now
the
worldwide. Yeah. And everything is starting to move to that. Even your medical records are starting to move over to the AWS server farms. So Amazon is willing to hand over any information that the government needs, probably without warrants, without any of that sort of stuff, right? So if they're willing to give up that information, think about how easy that is for the NSA to get that. They no longer have to do taps or any of the sort of stuff they had to go through before the internet was a thing. They can just demand that AWS allow them to monitor certain connections from certain IP addresses, i.e. they know what IP addresses Fox has because they assigned them to that corporation, and so they'll just let the NSA watch all traffic coming from there. That includes emails, web services, and anything you can think of that would be communication across the internet.
Wow. So they wouldn't even have to do much work. And
we don't know the sophistication of any of these entities' technology at this point in time. They may have the technology to break encryption, and that would mean that even your encrypted messages would be able to be read by them.
Yeah, I mean that's certainly been something that's, been in the back of my mind. Like, even just the fact like they can geolocate, everyone freaks out about, microchips and whatnot, but if you have a smartphone, they can turn
You
on.
already have a microchip, yeah.
Yeah,
Because they can triangulate. They used to just triangulate off a cell phone tower. That would get an approximation. With GPS, it gives you an area of that person within about 15 to 20 feet. And then with the pedometer, they can see exactly how many steps away from that location that you are. So they basically know to the step where you're at all times if you have a cell phone.
yeah, it's crazy. Um, and this has brought up, other topics recently, and this is something I wanted to kind of get your opinion on too, as an IT guy. Um, do you think that I mean, obviously, I don't think the founding fathers could have been even imagined what, the technology would be 200 and some odd years later. But do you think we need constitutional protections like for this type of technology to be used, and what needs to be put on the books?
Sammy, I don't know if I want to go there, right? Because there's this whole argument. If you can't rewrite the Constitution, you can add stuff to it. But I feel like it would be the same as the left whining about the whole. Well, when they wrote the amendment for the guns, they didn't include fully automatic weapons because
Yeah,
that didn't exist, and I kind of feel like that's the same argument, though, right?
yeah,
Just from the right standpoint instead of the left's.
yeah, that's true. And I mean, I'm not advocating for that. I'm just saying that is something I've heard from
I
like
mean, we have our rights, and if your rights for the First Amendment or whatever are violated on the internet, maybe that's something they should be looking at. You do have the freedom to say whatever you want to. That should apply also to the internet. That wouldn't be an exception that they'd have to make for just the internet. It would just apply across the board. But I think they see that as something completely different when it's not really anything. It's the same shit, right? It's no different than a book or fucking anything, any other form of media.
yeah, um, yeah, I think you're right about that. Now, one other thing, kind of shifting topics. I just wrote about this, but apparently Trump is now threatening to sue, big tech over this censorship. He wrote a piece in the New York Times about it. Ironically, kind of, or I think it was the Wall Street Journal.
Let
Um,
me ask the chat and you, Sammy, a question here. Did anybody jump on that Getter shit that he started this week?
I I did, but it kind of sucks. To be
Okay.
honest, um, I'm I'm on there and it looks nice, but I don't even know how to get to my mentions or how that works. I have no followers on there. I can actually, in fact, it's interesting that you bring that up because uh I can screen share uh get it for you. It looks nice, but the one thing that people are kind of concerned about is that it's just going to be like a giant data collection for the NSA to spy on the right people, just kind of like a Gab is. So let me see. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen now, I think, Whiskey.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so this is kind of the layout of, I mean, it looks more or less like Twitter.
Yeah.
Um you have your feed here, you have um your verified profiles. Here's what's weird though. There's home, there's profile. There's no ads or mentioned or anything. Then settings, and then basically like here's my profile page and
Yeah, that is very Twitter-ish for sure.
and apparently I only have 2 followers, and it didn't even notify me that I have 2 followers. So okay, okay, yeah, neither of these people that follow me, I don't know who they are, but
Well, that's awesome, Sam.
yeah. So I mean, it looks like a good platform, but having mentions would be nice. For one.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I don't think I think they just launched this real quick to get it out there and try and pull people off of Twitter and give those people that are censored a chance to get back on social media.
yeah,
They'll work out the kinks over time.
well, the thing it is Trump's not even on it yet, and that was kind of like the big promise was that he was going to be on there, and he's not. I would show you the phone app if I could, if I had the hookups to do that. But I don't. So, the app though actually works better than Twitter, which I mean that's the other thing because I'm pretty much shadow banned on Twitter. I know you can't see anything I post unless I mention you or you mention me anymore, right? I don't show up in your feed at all. I don't think.
Damn.
Yeah. So.
What'd you do, Sammy? What'd you do?
I mean, it could have been any. It could have been any number of things. I could have tweeted about like I mean, real when I started noticing my my tweets go down was actually like a few years ago when I mentioned that Alex Jones being banned off everything was going to cause a real slippery slope. And yeah, I kind of noticed that things started to go down from there. And then after I started making jokes about COVID, it was all over. So, so yeah, I don't know what to make other than that, you can follow me on Twitter, but I don't know what good it'll do you. So, you should follow Whiskey or something. Although I don't really see your tweets either. So,
I don't
but
really tweet much, but they're talking about Aldi in the chat. So I just got to say, I want to make a statement about Aldi here. Apparently, Aldi has one of the like top 25 best whiskeys in the country as their house brand whiskey, and that was like a Forbes rating or something, a very very high rating. So
is
for all those people out there that enjoy whiskey, go try the Aldi's whiskey. I guess it's really good.
is
I
chat?
haven't had the luxury of having it yet.
Oh, so is chat still talking about sandwiches? I I know that chat was talking about like sandwiches and burgers and stuff earlier, and I did want to address Fell in the Meadow.
No,
Unfortunately,
Skunky said was asking if Getter is the Aldi brand of grinder.
no, Skunky, that's unbearables.com. That's that's the that's the Aldi brand of grinder. But no, speaking of whiskey and beer though, I know you're a beer guy, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever tried any of Sierra Nevada's brews at all?
Yes.
they just came out with like a summer, like a sour summer ale that's actually really good. So let me try and see if I can find here. I just got some today, but I don't have any with me currently.
All right, so for everybody out there, I think what we're gonna do moving forward here is I'd like to put a channel somewhere in one of the discords where Sammy and fucking Apex cannot get in there. And the reason why I want to do that is because I'd like to start a drinking game every week where we have keywords. And there's a little list put together, and every time we get Apex or Sammy to say one of the keywords, you drink. Been doing this for a couple of weeks now. It actually works out really, really well.
And how shit faced have you gotten as a result?
Pretty fucked up, Sammy.
Well, that's
Tonight I'm working on tying on a good one because, well, I'm in here saying my own keywords and kind of getting you to say them too. So
that's what I am to do.
I know the other person. I know the other person to my party here is fucking on her way to getting fucked.
Ew. Maybe in more ways than one. No, or I don't know. Yeah, all I know is that every week I try to get Apex to spiral and get drunk. So it usually ends up boiling down to vaccines or or Ethan Ralph or some of that stuff. So. That's weird. For some reason, Discord said you were talking, but you weren't at all. That's weird.
Oh, I might have my mic sensitivity turned up a little too high.
That's okay.
My mic, it changes on its own sense. I've got a headset that's kind of, so I'm doing all this on a gaming headset. Have been this whole time. I'm taking the old Medicare approach, right, where I'm just too fucking cheap and don't care enough to go do the Apex thing and buy an expensive mic and some sort of boom to stick in my fucking face. Nah, I'm good.
I got this mic I'm using for $99. I do have a mount on my desk here, but my mic doesn't even fit on it, even though Amazon said it would. So fuck you, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, how much of the internet does that fucking guy own? Anyway, like he fucking owns everything now, but basically. Doesn't he? He just keeps buying shit. So
yeah. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing.
all I know is that
whatever makes the man happy.
Well,
just do it. Just chase it down. That's all I'm telling him.
Well,
it's the best thing I got to say for him. Whatever makes you happy, chase that shit down.
Well, at least he's rich because he's not. I mean, he's not ugly, but he's not a super. No one.
He a weird looking motherfucker.
No one's marrying him for his looks, so.
He a weird looking motherfucker. He another one of these motherfuckers that looks like fucking an alien and shit.
Falling Meadow says falling asleep on stream, shitface. I've actually done that before. before. I've actually fallen asleep not on this stream, but on one of the old DZ streams. I actually fell asleep on stream and got super shit faced. So yeah, that was fun.
Oh, so you were fucked up before you passed out.
Yeah. And I think I was snoring or something like that. So yeah. Falling asleep on stream will get your makeup done and okay. It's one of those
And maybe
times.
panties froze. Yeah, it's that kind of party.
It's one of those slumber parties. So.
Quote unquote slumber party, right?
Yeah, well again, we've got to steal a
As a boy when I was a kid, when we had sleepovers, we usually had blanket parties in which when you weren't paying any attention, you fucking throw a blanket over your head and then beat you with fucking baseballs inside of tube socks, swinging them at you and shit, and you're trying to run around getting this blanket off you while you're getting beat to death.
We would when I was in Boy Scouts, and no, before anyone asks, I did not get molested as a Boy Scout. Thank you very much. But we used to fucking like zip each other in our sleeping bags. Well, no, what we would do is we would all fart into each other's sleeping bags and then zip it up so that said victim was locked in there, and oh boy, I'm surprised no one died. I mean, we all were each other's fucking victims. So
We used to wait for the first guy to fall asleep, and then we put his fucking hand in a bucket of cold water. The guy would piss himself after about 30 minutes.
oh yeah, I was both the victim of that and the perpetrator of it later on. So yeah, the
kids do cruel ass shit to each other. That's for sure. They used to fucking draw dicks on each other's faces with Sharpies and shit if you fell asleep too early. They do all sorts of shit.
Yeah, I mean I never got the kick me thing on my back because it's pretty hard to fucking kick a kid in a wheelchair, but I did have dick face written on my forehead once, so.
Those were the days, Sammy. Can you imagine if that sort of shit went down today? Can you imagine the fucking havoc that you'd have to put up with if you were a parent and you had a sleepover at your house and the boys did that shit and the next day one of them went home with dick face written on their head, on their forehead in fucking Sharpie? How big of a fucking problem that would cause?
Oh my god, it would be a fucking nightmare.
Fucking immediate fucking felony charges on the kid who was gay bashing, right? I mean, that's where we would first place we'd go with that.
Well,
even if the kid that he wrote it on wasn't gay.
Well, you know what was funny was I was talking to an old buddy of mine from high school, and I had forgotten that back in high school, he gave me $20 if I slapped this one girl on the ass. Like,
ooh.
just real, just like passerby. So that's exactly what.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I did, and so I got the $20. But we were talking, and it's like, and she laughed about it, and like it was no big deal. But like now,
because it was It was passive, and you weren't fucking trying to sexually harass her. I'm sure she knew it was the fucking joke.
But like now, if I could fucking, if a fucking kid tried to do that in high school, it would be fucking oh, rape culture. He tried to rape me, or some shit like that. So, um, yeah, I mean that shit was kind of starting my senior year, but by then I was already I was gone, so I didn't give a fuck. But the one thing I do remember from kind of that era was the one time they decided to bring in like a feminist speaker to talk to the senior class about like sexual harassment, and the fucking bitch just spent like 3 hours talking about like how men were just like so bad, and like how every potential man in the room was a fucking rapist. So I actually
Yeah,
so
that's right.
I actually shouted and said, well, every woman's a potential liar too. So, and yeah, that did not go over well. So I could have gotten suspended but I used the I'm crippled excuse. So
Uh-huh.
so I often like to say, I try not to play that card, but sometimes you just gotta play that card.
Yeah, indeed.
So
I got no excuse for my badass behavior.
okay, yeah, Bruce got a good one. We got my friend's face once and made him walk to the gas station in the Mexican hood. He didn't know until he got to the gas station cooler and he saw his reflection. That's Yeah, I mean, Brew though, you're an entirely different animal. You're kind of a tomboy back when that was actually a thing.
So I was living in a community house with a bunch of my buddies, and one of my buddies um, went to go bang his girlfriend upstairs, and they didn't land in his room. They landed in one of the other guys' room. And when my when the buddy that was banging his girlfriend busted his fucking nut, he blew it inside of a sock that he just picked up on the side of the bed. The next day, that friend that it belonged to the room belonged to him. We were all standing upstairs talking in the hallway, and he went to his room and apparently put on a pair of fresh socks and came back out, and he said, "What the fuck is wrong with this sock? It's really fucking crusty." And that's
Oh,
when the other buddy told him that he had busted a nut in the dirty sock that was laying next to his bed. The guy put it on.
oh, that's kind of yeah, yeah, you could yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, I remember one time I overheard a buddy like banging his girlfriend in the next room. So I just like the walls were super thin, so I just like banged on the wall and said, "We can hear you," just like super loud and obnoxiously. So yeah, I know that's been an asshole thing to do, but I don't, you know, what are you gonna do?
Where the fuck is Apex at?
Apex is fucking working. Is fucking working supposedly, or
Not anymore. He ain't.
or he's or he's or he's knee deep in Paquito burritos.
This could be true. You know, I still haven't smoked yet. I've been babysitting this bowl this entire time. So, anybody out there who wants to join me for a safety meeting, let's fire one up.
Ew,
Because Apex, just because Apex can't smoke right now. Ha!
I would smoke, but I don't have a bowl. I don't even have my. Wait a second. Let me see something. Nope, don't have my cigar humidor in here either. Wouldn't matter anyway because I don't have any ventilation or anything. For that.
Oh, Sammy, you don't need ventilation, bud. What you need is a hot box. Yeah. That's how we do it. We're gonna smoke and drink in this motherfucker until we're fucking trashed.
Yeah. Well, we have some new people in the chat too. We have
Do we?
We have Jesse.
Who can we harass?
We have Jesse who's a new guy.
All right, Jesse. Why don't you go ahead and roll yours? I'll wait to take my second hit. Anybody else out there who's getting ready to burn one? Go ahead and get your smoke ready.
I mean, Skunky Brewster, or as I call her, Bruma. She smokes all day, every day. So.
Fellow in a meadow is pretty much the same way. She smokes all day.
Oh, I know.
Big fat blunts.
Yeah, that is.
I know how she rolls. That's some serious shit there.
That is one thing I kind of miss about Colorado sometimes, but nah, not really. That sadism.
Sammy, were you ever into the pot, Sammy, or no? I mean, is it just like not for you, or you like it and you just don't get to take advantage of it, or what's the deal?
I mean, I like it. I've just never been into the whole 420 weed culture. So no,
I'm not really into the 420 weed culture. I don't even know what that is, Sammy. All I know is that I enjoy smoking.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy weed more now than I did. What you have to understand is all of the kids I grew up with who were into weed were like fucking obnoxious about it.
Oh yeah, I can believe that. I know a lot of people that were obnoxious about weed when I was younger.
They couldn't. They wouldn't shut the fuck up about it.
Right, their lives revolved around it. Right, every fucking week was, oh, I got this new blog, I got this new volcano, I got this new fucking weed, I got this, I got that. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually
into the pot.
I should get my neighbor here on one of this podcasts because he owns like a smoke shop here, and he
Oh no shit! You absolutely should get him on.
Yeah, I should get him on. You think that like you're a conspiracy theorist, or that I'm a conspiracy theorist? Like this guy is like, the best way I can explain him is he's like Alex Jones meets Ted Nugent meets like kind of like a hippie dude from the 60s. That's kind of the best way I can explain him. So he's a
bring him, Sam. What are we waiting for?
Well, I mean, he's probably asleep now, but
I don't mean right this second, but of course, yeah, you should have already done that interview.
But yeah. Let's see. Jesse, are y'all watching the McGregor fight? No, I mean I'm here right now, bruh.
I got it on in the background. That fight's not happening yet, Sammy. There's a couple of fucking pussy fights they got to have first. We'll probably be way off air by the time they get ready to fight here, before the main event happens.
Yeah.
Okie Dean says, I got a new bear can pipe. Just finished it. What is that? You want to elaborate a little bit, Okie Dean? I don't know what a bear can pipe is. I'm going to look that shit up.
A bear can pipe. That sounds.
Okay. I get beer can pipe as a return. I know what the fuck that is. We used to make them in high school all the time.
Someone once made.
Okay, Dean, what are you doing smoking out of a beer can? You got to be a young guy if you're doing that sort of shit, right? Or just hiding it from your wife.
Probably the latter is what I meant.
Yeah, the only reason I could think of that you'd want to smoke out of a beer can is because you're hiding it from somebody.
Or if you're me, you're just lazy.
I mean, joints are just as disposable, right? So, but you can't even have those around, I'm guessing. I understand, though. I get it. All right.
Oh yeah.
What's going on over here?
Oh yeah, it was beer. It was a typo. Damn, YouTube actually alerted people to the stream. We had like 15.
What do we got going on? Yeah.
We had like 15 people on.
We should have had more. We could fix that next time.
We could bring on, like, naked strippers and stuff, and really get views, but then we could also get this channel banned, which at this point.
No, I could totally donate the Whiskey Runner 1 strippers if you want to employ them, Sam. I have a couple of strippers over on my channel that are looking for work, and they work extremely cheap.
What like how cheap? Like don't try and Jew me here.
Oh, I'm no Jew, Sammy. I'll loan them to you for free, and then we'll work something out after that.
Those deals are always interesting. So I'm pretty sure that's what the devil always says before.
Yeah, we'll just work it out later. Land contract style, right?
Yep.
You work for me for a little bit. We'll see how well you do, and if you do a good job, maybe I can sell you some land.
Yep, that's what I once told my.
Remember when promises were as good as a handshake, and now you can't even trust anybody to fucking do what they fucking say they're gonna do, even if they fucking put it on their mama.
Well, now you can't even shake hands because, COVID.
Yeah.
So.
Drink.
Oh yeah, that. Oh, yeah. Well, to be fair, that's one I drink from now, just in general, because whenever I even read that word now, just because people bring that up all the time. Let's see. Oh, so am I the one that doesn't care about the Olympics this year?
I don't give a fuck about the Olympics any year, Sammy. So no, you're not by yourself.
Yeah,
I mean, like once in a while, I think girls' gymnastics is cool and shit, but
well, yeah.
Other than that, I'm pretty much out, bro. The Olympics just I don't care. go Team USA, I guess, right? That's about all I got. I mean, I'm patriotic and shit, so of course I want our country to win, but other than that, just don't give a shit.
I'm just
I was a gymnast in high school myself, but obviously a guy, yeah, I don't take pleasure in watching guys do gymnastics. That's just not pleasurable, I don't think, for a straight man. So I watch women's gymnastics, but like I said, that's about it.
oh. I watch women's volleyball for the same
Yeah, I
reason.
think women's gymnastics, women's volleyball, women's softball, those are things that men are probably interested in the Olympics. Other than that, I mean, I don't want to watch another dude run. I don't want to watch another dude fucking swim. I don't want to watch another dude do a whole lot of things.
Yeah, and I
One
mean,
thing, if I'm gonna go out and do those fucking things, I'm active enough to go out and do those things myself if I'm really that interested, you know?
well, and also it's like a couple of the Team USA people are like threatening to do like this, woke stuff, and so I'm like, if you do that, no one's gonna fucking watch. Good luck doing that. So,
Uh-uh.
so
Fellow in a meadow says the Olympics are only good for the lapse between sports seasons. She's not wrong.
no, no, you're
We're
absolutely.
we're between hockey and football right now, so she's got it exactly right.
Well, what about baseball,
Does
fellow?
anybody watch baseball? Sammy, I couldn't tell you the last time I'm sure as hell ain't watching baseball on TV. I might once in a while go to a baseball game, but that sure as hell ain't to watch the baseball game. I go to get drunk. That's first and foremost when I'm at a fucking
Yeah.
baseball game.
Well,
Is and the strategy to that, Sam, is getting drunk in the parking lot before you go inside. Because those $12 beers inside, fuck that noise. I want to be wasted before I go up in that stadium.
yeah, same here. I want the only thing that's fun is doing the fucking doing the wave with people when you're drunk. So, uh, I mean the last time I watched the World Series on TV, some Instagram model like flashed her tits and got arrested instead, and made it like a national story. But that's like the last time the World Series was fucking memorable at all.
So Okie Dean says girls gymnastics is awesome. How the hell them girls do that shit? Amazing. Yeah, he ain't wrong. I don't fucking that flexibility is pretty insane.
Yeah, well, there are certain things that, like, that they can do that if we tried to do, well, you know RIP our testicles.
Fellow in a meadow says, "Shut up about baseball. You know I'm an Orioles fan." Oh yeah, I
Oh,
knew that.
oh yeah,
Um,
oh yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
baseball is great. My bad. Uh, Larry says, "Not interested in baseball, even though my grandfather's second cousin was Babe Ruth." Damn, that's some crazy lineage.
That now see that type of
That you don't care about baseball in that context. Then do you collect any of the shit though that your family has ties to baseball with? That's a good question.
yeah, and
Oh yeah, Larry says like the uneven parallel bars. Yeah, that shit's not easy. All that flipping around, fucking bouncing from bar to bar.
fella says I hate baseball, which I'm reading all I'm reading all of her comments like mentally in her cute voice. So like when she gets mad, it's like I can't take her seriously because she's like fucking adorable. So.
She's
Uh,
welcome to jump on anytime she'd like to.
yeah, and rip me a new one. Here, I did find this story in the stack of stuff from Newsmax. Growing number of Dems fear the party has become too woke. Yeah, no fucking shit. Oh,
Yeah, you don't say, huh?
yeah. Okay, come on. Okay, come on, guys. This is not fucking. Maybe it's newsworthy. Maybe it's newsworthy to to some people out there. But yeah. Wait. Yeah. Whoever sent this to me in DMs. How is this newsworthy? I appreciate the effort, but this isn't a headline. I mean, of course, even the Democrats know that their party is too woke. Um, I just can't wait till AOC makes till AOC tries to run for president and like makes a mockery of herself even more than she already has.
AOC ain't running into shit but a doorway. She's dumber than a box of rocks.
I mean, that is true. I would, I would say that AOC can suck my dick, but also, I mean, her face looks like a pencil sharpener, so.
I'm sure her mouth is a pencil sharpener. Keep anything that extends out of there. You don't want none of that shit. Trust me, Sammy.
Oh, I'm sure.
Larry says he had film footage of making a home run, but it got stolen from when he was a kid. Oh, that sucks.
Oh, that sucks.
I hope you beat that person's ass. Bruce says, kind of funny. I grew up to watch a guy who dressed as Liberus. Oh, she said something about her grandma went to school with Liberus.
No, to Liber.
I don't know who that was. I had to look it up. Yeah, if I'm saying it wrong, that's because I don't even know who the fuck it is.
Do you mean Liberace Brew? Like the gay, not Elton John, but the other gay piano guy.
Yeah, that's who she's talking about. I looked it up. I don't know what the fuck that is.
I mean, I think that might be a drink reference that she.
I'm gonna drink now because of how badly I just fucking pronounced that. Liberus and it's Liberace. All right.
I mean, Brew, to be fair, fat head or fat ass or whatever we're calling him these days. Liberace actually had fucking talent at least.
Oh, okay, Sam. You're definitely taking a step in the right direction because you won't even say his name anymore. That's good. I like that. We'll just call him Fat Ass. But I'm glad you made the fat head reference so that the other person knows what the fuck is going on.
I mean, she wasn't wrong about that, but I mean, I did see a picture of him, and he's easily like 300 pounds. He's like he makes Jabba the Hutt look look fucking fit now. Uh, but yeah, and I mean, Larry, I know you tried your best to teach said fat ass piano, but it didn't work. Don't feel bad. I'm sure you're a good piano teacher, Larry, but um, you know, some people would just rather drink White Claw and then goat milk and whatever the hell else your former student is shoving in his gullet and in other areas. So
All right, I'm gonna shoot Apex a DM and tell him to get his fucking ass in here. Anybody else who has access to Apex via social media, please blow his shit up right now.
please, please bully him into joining us. And tell
Yes, bullying is one of my favorite things to do, and it's definitely tolerated around here.
well, so we do need to talk about
I mean, everybody, don't bully Apex. Just go find him and tell him how much you love him and how much you would love to give him a hug. I think Apex really needs lots of hugs right now. That's really what Apex needs. He needs you to hug him with every ounce of hugging energy that you have.
yes.
If you have a penis, I think he wants you to hug him so hard that you press your penis up against him. That's where he wants you to be. And if you don't have a penis, well, then just shake his hand. That's probably the kind of hug that he wants from you. So, and hopefully he's listening right now, or will at least watch back and hear all the great things that I have to say.
And hopefully he'll stop hogging all of the Paquito burritos for himself, and
Yeah, drink.
he'll share. Um, wait, are Paquito burritos a phrase now?
It's this week.
Well, we can also add Mexicans to that list too. So, because he loves to bring up his love of Mexican, which for Jace, who I know you're listening, no, I'm not. I am not talking about the food group. I mean, Apex.
Well, you might be. I mean, I'm sure he eats the Mexican, right? I mean, to be perfectly honest, I don't see why he wouldn't be. Hey, Sammy, give me 45 seconds. I gotta go swap my battery for my fucking vape and get a couple of more drinks here. I'm just hammering right through these guys, and yeah, need more to drink. So I'll be right back.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna take a quick timeout as well, too.
I'm gonna leave the mic on so that when I'm yelling at my dog, everybody can hear it.
All right, yeah,
I'm totally fucking kidding. I'll be back in a minute though.
I'm going to switch the screen to. I'll be right back, folks. Talk amongst yourselves. Alrighty, folks, I'm back. Thank you for bearing with me. Let's see. We have,
Yeah.
oh, welcome back, Whiskey, and welcome, Croco. Thank you for popping into the chat. So, yeah, but I've got a brew. I've got a brewski. What are you drinking tonight, Whiskey?
I'm drinking mango cheladas by Modelo.
Nice. I'm drinking this thing called Wild Little Thing. It's a sour ale by Sierra Nevada. So haven't tried it yet, but I just got it today. So any luck trying to wrangle the gamma uh or are we you know did he kill himself finally?
Uh, I was able to reach him. I just don't know what the fuck his plan is. He's not responding now. I told him to get his fucking ass in here, and he said, where? And then I told him like 5 different times, and yeah, he's not answering me.
Oh.
So if people could in the chat, go give Mr. Apex that hug I was talking about earlier. He'd greatly appreciate that.
Or I will steal his burrito.
Oof.
Your homework, Larry, is to go tell Apex that you love him. That's your homework. That's your homework. That's your homework, Larry.
Ooh.
We know.
That's your homework, Larry. That sounds like a substitute teacher.
Whoa.
That's your damn homework, Larry.
Larry, we know that this is your homework, Larry, and we know you stole the money. And we know.
Yeah, Larry.
And we know you stole. We stole. And we know you stole my money. And we know that this is your homework, Larry. I fucking love.
Larry seems like the perfect name for a scapegoat. Just blame everything on Larry.
I mean, our Larry is a good guy, but yeah, unfortunately, he did get scapegoated for a lot of drama. But you know.
I don't know what the fuck happened. Larry did it.
This isn't half bad. So, I mean, I like sour beer personally, but that's just me. It's an acquired taste for most people I know. So yeah, I won't be tuning into the McGregor Right because I don't have cable, but yeah. Seems.
Oh, Apex says he can't make it because he's watching the fight.
Figures. But wait, I mean, all the amateurs are fighting right now, so.
Yeah. I thought Apex had COVID. That's what I heard, anyways. Fellow in a meadow says, "No, not sour beer." Sammy,
What
do you have to say for yourself, Sammy?
what's wrong with sour beer? I mean, obviously, I know it's sour, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Do you like um? Do you like Granny? Do you like Granny Smith apples by chance, fellow? Because if you don't, I understand. But if you like sour stuff in general, well then I don't understand. So
A fellow in a metal likes those fucking heavy hitter IPAs.
I mean,
And unless it's a real fucking heavy hitter, she don't even want to fuck with it. So
I've got an IPA in the fridge too. But it's in a bottle, and I don't feel like getting my bottle opener out of even though it's like a little in my desk right now. But yeah. Apples are not good because of the wax. Well, that's why you wash your apples before you eat them, though, fellow.
I just got to tear into everything. Like you don't even kill your animals; you just fucking eat them while they're still alive, just munching out of their back and shit.
Hmm. Do I de-wax my apples? Yeah, I do, actually.
Larry says, everyone who knows me eventually elects me to be the official office of scapegoat.
Yeah, well,
I'm sorry, Larry. Your name is such a scapegoat-ish name, if that's even a thing. But
well, I mean,
it's like if I had a friend named Bobby, I would probably blame everything on him too.
Bobby either sounds like a scapegoat name or a gangster name. Um, which which by the way, they're making a Sopranos prequel movie, and it looks good, but I don't know if anyone in this chat is into the Sopranos. I might be the only one, but
Whoa, that's fucking old. And honestly, Sammy, I've never seen one episode of The Sopranos.
I mean it's a good show, but yeah. It's an old show from like 20 years ago. Yeah, they're just now making like a prequel to it, which why they well, I mean, obviously I know why they can't do a sequel, but they did get Gandolfini's son to play his younger character in the movie. So Okie Dean says I de-wax my apples with my K-bar. Okay. I guess. Um, seen any good movies lately, Whiskey? Or
No, I don't watch much movies.
here is
I stay away from the whole Hollywood thing. Fuck that. They don't get my money.
yeah, they don't get much of my money anymore either. Mostly it's stuff I already own. But no, here is a question. What have you been playing lately? Let me ask you that.
Oh, like so last weekend I watched Dazed and Confused again for like the 18th million time because I love that movie. It was heavily criticized by the person that I was watching it with though, but it was fine.
That's not surprising.
I
Said per
don't know. It reminds me of a time when things were simpler and it just made more sense, I think, to me.
Said person thinks I have weird tastes too. So
Uh-huh.
I watched I watched Dirty Harry, like, which is an old Clint Eastwood movie. Uh, I don't
Uh,
know.
did watch did watch The Jerk a couple of weeks ago too, which if anybody has never seen The Jerk before, and I have seen it, I've seen it many times. Uh yeah, it was it's a good movie.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen it, Sam?
Oh yeah, long time ago.
Uh-huh.
But
Fellow in a Meadow says the fantastic Mr. Fox. Yeah, I did see that one too. That was a pretty funny movie. I do gotta say I did enjoy it.
wasn't that? I think that was a kid's book before it was made into a movie, right?
Yes, clearly.
Yeah, because I remember oh are you throwing shade at a fellow?
I
Uh,
think Fellow might be throwing shade at me. I don't know.
well, you two might just have
That's a
to.
pretty worthwhile watch. What were you talking about, Larry?
The Jerk, I think.
Oh, The Jerk. Okay, yeah, The Jerk was good. We gotta keep them niggas out. Oh no, I'm a nigger.
Have you ever seen Blazing? I'm assuming you've seen Blazing Saddles, right?
No,
Oh my God! Talk about a movie that
I
couldn't.
honestly, I honestly thought you were gonna say Boys in the Hood. I have seen that movie.
Yeah, that movie couldn't be made either. So that movie couldn't be made today either.
No, for sure not.
Uh, Alpha. Well, I mean, Pulp Pulp Fiction. Well, nah, never mind. Like, I don't think you could make Pulp Fiction in today's environment.
That would be towing the line, I think.
I'm honestly surprised that I mean I gotta give Tarantino credit, but he just doesn't give a fuck. So uh the Django Unchained was entertaining as fuck just because they let him get away with saying the N-word you know like 40 times in that movie.
Yeah, it probably wasn't enough.
Nope, not for back then when not for the time period in which it takes place anyway. So
What do you think, Sammy? Did we drone on long enough here? I don't think Apex is coming tonight.
no, probably not. He's probably listening though and like crying and
Yeah.
and like
Well, everybody out there, go and give Apex a hug. He needs it.
send him. No, don't send a burrito. Send him a quesadilla.
Yeah, if there's any taco emojis, go ahead and shoot them his way. He'll really enjoy that.
I know.
Just shoot him a straight message full of taco emojis.
I know I'll enjoy I know I will enjoy sending those to him. So oh yeah, Wag the dog is pretty good, but that's mostly because of Mark Knopfler. Uh there, Larry.
I've never seen that one.
that one's kind of esoteric, but it's interesting. Yeah. Do the taco emojis for Apex, like Whiskey just demonstrated in chat.
Yeah, can we get some tacos out in the chat for Apex, please?
Tacos in the chat.
Wait a minute. Did I just find a burrito emoji? Is that what that is? Does that look like a burrito to you, Sam?
Oh shit. Yeah, it does.
Okay. Oh, there. Yeah, that's a burrito emoji for sure. Let me delete those and put the burrito emoji back for him. There we go. He'll appreciate that a little more.
I love how we're torturing the poor lad. But we're building his character. So
I think he likes the attention. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, it's keeping him from killing himself for the upteenth time. Good God. But anyway, yeah, I don't think that nigga is coming. So
Nah. There we go. I just DM'd him a whole bunch of burrito emojis.
Oh shit. Yeah, let me see here. Okay, food.
Yeah. That should make his day. I hope all of you in the chat can help. He really likes help.
Oh yeah. Oh, he always does.
I think the spirit of Apex is here.
Well, you haven't gotten what you said though. So you're not self-deprecating or talking how small your penis is. So there we go. I just sent the lad a nice bunch of burrito emojis.
Excellent. He's surely going to appreciate that.
Oh, I'm sure he will. But yeah. Any other anything else or
No, I think we can get out of here with our closing statement, Sammy.
Yeah. So.
Oh, we never did smoke that second time. There was some people rolling up joints and shit, getting ready to smoke, and then I think they probably just finally smoked without us because babysitting again. But anyway, I'm going to take my last hit before we get out of here.
Yeah, so in conclusion, Biden's a shitty. Oh, you can drink. I said Biden.
Yep.
Oh. Oh shit. He just someone just responded to me in DMs. I think. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. No, Fat Kick Boy, I have a mic. Dude, I'm a bit far away from it, but yeah, I have a mic. So
All right, Sam. Let's make our closing statements and get the fuck out of here for Saturday night.
At any rate, though, folks, Biden is, don't forget, the NSA is spying on you. Biden's got dementia. Whiskey, our whiskey, I should say, is awesome. Thank you for joining me. And from all of us here at NGC Studios, good night, God bless, God save this great nation, God, freedom, democracy, in that order, and I'll see you on the next episode of the podcast.
Later.
Later.